That's all you need to know. Pretty volatile, as we heard from Trevor a little earlier. Lots of political risk that is weighing on the minds.
We've got to move on, Ben.
investors.
That's why we're not showing numbers.
Well, if you're a parent, like Sal, you might be recovering from the half-term holidays, like Sally.
Yes, trip to A&E, but hey,
You've had it all.
mine were outside.
At least you weren't looking at a screen.
Ended up in hospital, but hey.
Is he okay?
He's fine.
Good.
Plaster on.
Yeah, well, the challenge of keeping your kids entertained like that without always having to resort to the TV or the computer is pretty difficult.
Now, that might have meant wading through parenting forums, local notice boards, magazines, websites. The list is long to find out what events are going on locally for your children.
Well, here in the UK, there are as many as 9 million parents who've got children under the age of 11.
Well, after becoming frustrated that there was no one place to find out all that information about activities on and where, 4 entrepreneurs launched an app called Hoop in 2015.
Yeah, today it lists over 100,000 different family-friendly activities, classes, workshops, events, every single month.
And it has around 10,000 event organisers using the platform to promote their events.
Well, with us is Dan Bauer. He's a co-founder and the chief executive of Hoop. Dan, nice to see you. Welcome to the programme. And you're a new parent, relatively new parent yourself, aren't you?
Yes,
so you know all about this. But that wasn't for you the impetus of setting up this website. You weren't a parent when you established this.
No, it wasn't. It was a problem that my co-founders faced. We'd talked about how hard families found it to discover things going on. Despite the fact that there's a huge diversity and incredible number of activities, we felt that it needed somewhere, a single app that people could use to find everything happening for their kids.
I'd not heard of you, and actually I thought, I don't know if I would find you, because I already get so much information just through my children's school bags coming out of school, local websites, you know, Facebook pages for your local area, that kind of thing. There's so much already readily available, so why would I try and find you?
I think Hoop's really comprehensive, and that's what families love about it. As you mentioned, there's 100,000 activities happening on there every month. And that means that you get a real market view. What's more, they're all age appropriate, and also we have reviews and ratings and things like that that really add an additional layer on top.
So how do you make money? Because I'd imagine the sort of the obvious ones, the big businesses that might spend a bit of money, because you get commission from it, don't you?
Yeah, we accept bookings.
So the big ones you would know about anyway, theme parks, you know, that sort of thing, big, you know, concerts or events. How do you make money out of the sort of the smaller, you know, church hall, village fete sort of get-togethers?
Yeah, I mean, it's a commission model, like you mentioned, so every time someone makes a booking, we take a cut of that. But it's also really important for workshops and camps having over summer holidays where there's actually a much larger price, where obviously the commissions are much greater. And we think it's really important that we have everything on the app, so 1 in 5 of the activities are actually free, because that means that people really trust Hoop and want to use it regularly.
So far, are you finding that this is working? Because I would imagine I would go to Hoop to find out what's going on and then just go directly to pay for the ticket or pay at the door, because that way I'm not paying you a fee as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, the commission is taken from the organiser, so the costs are exactly the same as they would be on the door. And yeah, it's working. This month we should have our 1,000,000th install, which getting close to over 1 in 10 of the families in the UK. So yeah, it's showing great potential.
And this isn't your first business by any stretch. You used to run the Voucher Codes website, vouchercodes.co.uk. You sold that for a pretty hefty sum. The figures vary, don't they? About $40 million. So you've got experience of doing this sort of thing, but it's a tough market to be in, because there's this massive push, isn't there, to do apps, to have websites, and there's other people that do a similar thing.
Yeah, there are competitors, but again, no one has the comprehensive nature that we do. And we've learned a lot from the previous businesses that we've run, which I think gives us a bit of an edge.
What's your biggest lesson?
I think the biggest lesson we've learned is how to manage a database as big as the one that Hoop has. At Voucher Codes, we had a very similar problem. You know, we had to keep the discounts up to date and make sure they were always ready to use. And we have a similar issue there with Hoop, in that we have to keep the activities up to date and make sure they're all proper.
It's really nice to see. I wish we could talk more about it. There's a lot to discuss. But Dan, thanks for coming in and explaining how it all works. Dan Bauer there, Chief Exec and Founder, or one of the co-founders, I should say, of Hoop. Thank you.
Let's now talk more about